Hey, crypto heads, it's the Goose with the Cryptic Paranormal Show. Welcome back. We got a great one for you tonight. As per, it seems to be like what our third annual meeting with Tim Miley and
Right.
now Lauren Pearl. Yeah, there we go. We are promoting Potograph's Parafest 5, which is a huge deal. It's an amazing event. Saving the pooches for the Humane Society of Huron Valley, and they have events everywhere else. But first, how are you doing, Denise? It's been a while since we've talked.
Yeah, it has been. It feels like it's been 6 months.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
doing good.
Good.
Things are starting to pick up at work, so that's good.
Good to hear that.
Yeah.
So, as you guys can see, Heisenberg's not on tonight. He has fatherly duties, so he may be jumping on here later. We're not sure, but we all family first, right? Always.
Right.
So we have Tim Miley and Lauren Pearl on. You guys have seen Tim on the show before. You've probably seen him everywhere. Everybody knows what Potographs for Pooches is, and if they don't, they're going to explain to us tonight. So before we get into just tell us what Potographs Pooches is. Has it been renamed? I was kind of confused because I know the page name changed.
There's a lot of things that people are confused about.
Good to have you on the show then.
Yeah, it's still Potographs for Pooches. We rebranded the social media to reflect the fact that it's the two of us now doing this together. I wanted Lauren to get equal billing and for people to understand that it is a new chapter and that it is Tim and Lauren now, but it'll always be about Murray's legacy. It'll always be Potographs for Pooches. I mean, the web's still the same, PotographsForPooches.com.
Yeah.
But social media stuff, because we have big plans to do some fun things on that page, and we've done a few things. I think we've been quiet for about a week or two, but we'll get back to it. And we just wanted people to know that it's a lot more than just Potographs for Pooches content on that page going forward.
Yeah.
So wanted to get a fresh start, but it confused a lot of people. It pissed off some people.
What?
Like,
Why?
yeah, there were people that were
Oh my
deeply
God.
offended. And those people just need to get out of their mother's basements. But
Yeah.
other than that, I'm on a roll.
Yeah, there you go.
So anyway, what did you ask me?
What did you ask me before I started
Yeah, I don't
telling
know.
all the people I'm going to piss off?
Yeah.
Something about ticks. I don't know. Yeah, just like what has changed, but you just kind of pretty much. This is what happens, Lauren. Just so you know, this show.
We know.
There is no track. There's no
No.
wheels. We're just flying
No.
wherever. Whatever happens.
The biggest thing that changes, Lauren, quite honestly, for folks that are watching this, they probably know the story. Well, I'll give you a brief version so I don't cry the entire time.
Cry.
But
I'm sure Denise has her box of Kleenex ready to go.
You will
This is
cry.
not what I signed up for. I want the tears.
The only reason to have you on, Tim.
Back in 2006, I adopted Murray. I found Murray. Murray found me. I was going through a horrible point in my life, but I just bought a house and I knew I wanted to have a dog. And I looked online for a yellow lab. I found myself a yellow lab / pit bull, and he was beaten as a puppy, and they rescued him from the home. Long story short, I begged them to let me come and meet him. They didn't want to because a man was the one that did this to him, and he didn't seem to like men. At least that's what they told me. I ended up being able to bring him home.
Awesome.
The puppy that wasn't supposed to want anything to do with me came running to me and jumped into my arms, and we were
That's awesome.
Best friends from the beginning. A few weeks into him being here, everything that I was going through got the best of me, and I did have a suicide attempt. And the only reason I'm here today is because Murray walked into the room and put his head on my arm and snapped me out of it. Gave me a second chance at life, and forever grateful for that. I got a lot of opportunities within the paranormal field, speaking at events.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Rian makes me laugh right in the middle.
I love it.
I saw Denise laughing. I'm like, I got to read this. Yeah, if you want to donate, it's autographsforpooches.com, and there's a donate button on the homepage. But at any rate,
I got it down. I got it down in the ticker too, so
sweet.
people can follow it down there.
He said tick. He said tick. So where was I? Okay, so anyway, during the most sad part of my story, you guys made me laugh. But basically, I wouldn't be here if he wasn't in that room that night. And everything I've been able to accomplish personally, professionally in the last 17 years is because he walked into that room. So forever grateful to him. I got more opportunities within the paranormal. In 2013, we started Autographs for Pooches. Basically as a way to create a legacy for him. I wanted people to understand how special he was and what he had done for me. In the process, raising money for shelters around the country. We really didn't have expectations, I guess. Whatever happened. Eventually it caught on, and events were advertising that we would be there raising money for their local shelter, and then it turned into Potographs exclusive events because my good friend John Cassidy. We would start raising a few $100s here, a few $100s there, and then eventually we got into the thousands, and we did events in Houghton Lake, Michigan, which is where we officially met.
Yep.
We had a fantastic time that weekend.
It was a good time.
You guys became family that weekend.
Yeah.
And I think we raised like $7,500 that weekend. And up to that date, it was the most we'd ever done. And that was like the week before COVID. And then the world shut down.
Yeah.
At least I think that was the year. It might have been the year after. Did we come out of COVID there?
I think we were just out of COVID because there were still people kind of like, are we supposed to wear?
Okay. Yeah, that's
masks and
the years mixed up because we were
and all of us were like, you know what, fuck it, give me a hug.
Really?
But I haven't seen you. It's the first time I met you.
Yeah. So we did a lot of good the year before, and then we had guys up the year after, I believe, just coming out of COVID, and I think we raised $13,000 that weekend, and that to date is our best. In the last almost 11 years, we've raised $119,000.
That's amazing, dude.
For shelters. So, I know I had said this. I know I at least said this to Denise on a few times because we've talked. Leading into Michigan Paracon this past year in 2023, my plan was to walk away. I had had enough of the drama. I had had enough of the stress of doing events.
It's not easy.
It was just time.
Yeah.
I had talked to the promoters of Michigan Paracon. They were going to let me come in 2024, say goodbye, speak, do all that, and make a big deal out of my last event. And then that same weekend, I met this lady. And a friendship turned into the greatest thing that's ever happened in my life, other than Murray. I would say 2 months into knowing her, and really talking all the time and sharing everything and getting to know each other on such a personal level that there's nothing that surprises us anymore. She looked at me and she said, if you had somebody to stand side by side with you and take some of that stress away, would you continue your dream? And how can I say no to that?
Right.
So Autographs for Pooches needed to freshen up a little bit, needed a reboot. And that's where Murray's Legacy, Tim and Lauren, a new chapter comes in. It's the social media page. Everything else stays the same. Still autographsforpooches.com. It's still about Murray's legacy. It'll always be about Murray's legacy. Both of us firmly believe that there's a reason that we met each other. There's a reason that this is so easy. There's a reason that we've gotten so close so quickly. And that reason is a little blonde dog with 4 legs that couldn't wag his tail, but wants to see his dad happy.
Right.
And Murray got this one right. He got this one right in a big way.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very thankful and grateful for everything. And getting to do this alongside somebody that just means the world to you it's better than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Lauren's been kind of quiet, but Tim's been doing his thing. Let's get to know her a little bit. This is probably where Denise kind of like takes over because it's, the woman to
Girl
woman
talk.
talk, but yeah, it's a little more sensitive with the questions. No, I'm saying. Tell us about yourself, Lauren. Like, where were you before you met Tim?
Miserable. I'm just kidding.
I thought that was no, I'm just kidding.
What do you want to know?
Your origin story. What
Yeah.
what got you going to the events and
Well, fun
Yeah,
fact.
I mean, obviously.
I wasn't supposed to go to Michigan Paracon. I had my ticket and then I was going to back out. I wasn't going to go. And last minute decide I was just going to go for it. So, yeah.
because something told you that you should go?
Yeah. Something.
Yeah. She's also being modest. She's been in the paranormal field for a while.
Yeah.
You should tell them the team name because that needs to be said.
Yeah.
I am a twat. Member of the Twats.
Love it.
The Wisconsin Apparition Tracking Society.
Oh my gosh, that's
Nice.
amazing.
Yeah, we are the Twats. So we
Tim's like,
had
you should tell him the name. Tell him the name.
Just say twat.
She said twat.
She said twat on there.
yeah. That's the fact.
Yeah.
And when did you start that?
Well, so we were a group. We had bought our tickets the previous fall-ish. And then that group had a falling out, and that's kind of where it was up in the air of whether or not we were going to go. And then we had talked about kind of forming our own thing, and that was still where I was like up in the air of if I really was going to go or not. And then did it.
And then there I was at the bar,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew they were from Wisconsin, so I bought all four of them a drink. We had a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't long into that conversation where Timothy opened his mouth and stuck his foot in his mouth and looked at Lauren and said, "Oh my God, you're gorgeous."
Whoops,
And,
Daisy.
Oop.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
Like I said, we just a really, really good friendship in the beginning, and talking about everything. I mean, there's nothing we don't know about each other.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that's important.
And then
well, and to have to meet in Michigan, but really to only live 40 minutes away from each other.
Yeah,
right.
That's weird too.
Yeah. And then when it really came down to it, I mean, there was a period of time where we were trying to figure out why this shouldn't work. Like we were talking ourselves out of it because it seemed so easy.
Politics.
Yeah.
We tried politics, guys.
Yeah, we went politics and religion, and that didn't work.
Yeah.
So
right.
There was I don't know when the point
You're gonna
was.
see Tim up there with like a dry erase board,
right?
Cons,
like drawing
pros
lines.
and cons. Yeah.
But if we're being honest, and you guys have known me for a long time, I have consistently ran away from any potential relationship that ever crossed my path.
No.
Yes.
That doesn't sound like you at all.
Tim, I have helped you run away from
You have.
potential relationships. Go hide over there.
Yeah.
She's coming.
Yeah.
And I think I heard of that at Michigan Paracon.
Yeah.
Like night one.
But I mean, really what it comes down to is like we had that talk, and like I couldn't think of a reason I didn't want to be around her all the time. And that's brand new for me.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. There's probably a lot of people watching this show or will watch it that'll look at it going, "That's not Tim I know."
Right.
And it's not. It's not. Yeah. I have changed so much in 6 months.
Yeah.
I love it. But I look back at me last summer and I don't even know that guy anymore.
Right. Like your Facebook memories are probably like, oh God.
Well, they're pathetic. They really are.
I really say that in social media?
Yeah.
Well,
so,
it was, I mean, it honestly was a complete 180. Like we've had a lot of conversations about it, and you're like, I'm just going to die alone. I'm totally happy with that. Like, I don't need any of that, you know? And then you're like, so there's this girl. And I'm like, what? Who am I talking to?
Yeah, Denise knew about Lauren and how I felt about Lauren way before Lauren knew how I felt about Lauren. So Lauren, meet Denise.
Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
I had no idea until Old Mill. I'm like,
No.
what?
I know,
What
and
happened?
Goose is like, did you know Tim's dating? And I was like, what? Oh my god, I had no idea.
I figured you probably knew, but I thought I'd pretend like I knew something
Yeah.
first.
Also, it's not my story to tell. I wasn't gonna
Right.
be telling everybody.
But I mean, it was at Dundee where I pretty much told everybody, this is the woman I want to be with. During my presentation.
During your presentation?
Yeah. I
no
went
pressure,
all in.
Lauren. No pressure.
Yeah, I went all in. But I knew. I just knew.
Yeah.
And I think she knew or knows. It's a completely different feeling than I'm used to, and I can say that to you guys because you knew me long before.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of friends that really are kind of sitting back and going, okay, when is this going to fall apart? Because they're waiting for it. But no, she's my perfect partner.
Mm-hmm.
And going forward, I think we're going to do some incredible things with Potographs.
Nice.
So obviously Tim has his story with Murray. What's your connection? I know you have like some kind of connection with animals, pets, dogs. Do you find comfort in them as much as Tim does?
I wouldn't say I have any connection close to what Tim has with Murray.
That's true. That's fair.
It's pretty.
Yeah. That's fair.
Pretty amazing.
When she pets a dog, she basically slaps it on the top of the head. She thinks she's doing well, but she's like.
That's how I comfort people when they're crying. I'm like, there.
Yeah, I pat him on the back like I'm trying to make a baby burp. There you go. There you go. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Because I am a mom.
Yeah.
Well,
that's another fun part of the story. I mean, I think we need to. Like the first time we all hung out, you guys haven't met Tony, and Tony is one of my best friends. But Tony was with me that weekend, and Tony decides the first words he's going to hear or first words he's going to say when we're all hanging out together is, "Tim really hates." Yeah, and I remember looking at him and going, "What are you doing? You're killing me here. What are you doing, buddy?"
Yeah.
But there's a lot of coincidences. You guys probably don't know the date, but Murray's birthday is April 25th. I met him for the first time on October 25th. And I met Lauren on August 25th. And everything seemed to fall into our laps perfectly. And within the last month or month and a half, all of a sudden Murray got very chatty and I could hear him. And I haven't said anything about that publicly because I don't want to seem crazy. But my boy talks to me now, and he's had a lot of things to say. Our really great friend Jamila and her husband Kevin, they lost their dog probably about a month ago already.
Yeah.
And Murray actually came through to me that morning to tell them, or to have me tell them that Tabitha was okay and that she was running around and having a good time. And and then he's like, but we all call her Tabby. And then like he just wanted to talk. As soon as he heard me, he knew I could hear him.
Yeah.
And he's had a lot of things to say. And he's come forward and he's taken credit for this. He pretty much told me this is me.
You owe me, Dad.
There was I'm gonna make it through the whole show without crying. Was it today? There's been some things behind the scenes with the event that we're going to talk about, and it's been difficult. And Lauren is doing a lot of things to help me in that regard, and I don't want to embarrass her, so that's just where we're going to leave it. But
probably good.
Murray came through today to me, and he said, "I appreciate everything Mom does."
Aww.
And for him to acknowledge her as Mom,
Right.
Was huge for me. I mean, I'm sitting at my desk in a room with 3 other people crying, and I just felt stupid because everybody's looking at you. But yeah, he's always looking out for me. And I made it through telling his story without crying, but here I am anyway. 21 minutes in.
Yes.
Hopefully we don't sniff the rest
That's
of
a
the
record, though. You did
Yeah.
great.
But he's you know, I have no doubt he's still looking out for me.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I'm sure he's keeping an eye on this lady too and making sure things go right for her. And if Murray can't help her, well, then she's got this very large person next to her that'll make sure that everything goes right for her.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, dude. I love it. So let's talk about the Potographs Parafest coming up. I mean, it's literally only what, like 2 weeks away? I can't believe how fast it came up on us. It's
Guess who didn't book a hotel yet?
Woohoo!
I'll be staying next door at the Hampton.
Oh my god!
I'm
such an idiot.
I had some free money over there, so but it's like right next door.
It is. It's our second year there. It's at the Wyndham Gardens in Ann Arbor, Michigan. We had a pretty successful event last year, even though we had a blizzard.
Oh my god! Yeah. Freaking crazy.
Raised $11,000. When I say we had a blizzard, we legitimately got 16 inches of snow. And by the time we left Sunday, it had snowed on Friday night. By the time we left Sunday, the snow was gone.
Yeah.
Because it got up to like 60 degrees, like Saturday night and Sunday. But we had a great event there. There were some hiccups with the venue. I had to talk with the venue. They assured me that all those things would be fixed.
So the kitchen will be open? Like those hiccups?
That's what they told me. But so we decided to try it another year. I followed my heart and a dream that I've had for a long time, and I booked Barry Fitzgerald because I selfishly want to meet that man so bad. He's been a friend for so long. So really looking forward to finally meeting Barry and being able to have conversations with him. The headliners this year, Barry Fitzgerald, Dustin Perry, Heather Taddy. We were supposed to have Tim Woolworth speak, but he's got some health issues going on now, so he had to back away. In Tim Woolworth's place, we have John Tenney, though.
Hey.
So, I mean, you can't do much better than that for a replacement. So,
yeah.
Those are the mainstays. I don't have the poster in front of me, and if I try to name off everybody, I'm going to forget somebody. There it is. Myself and Todd, Tim and Brad from Michigan Paracon. Deb, Christy, and Dana are going to be doing a mediumship gallery together Friday night.
Oh, nice.
Christine Carpenter is doing her very first lecture on Friday night. Jamila is doing a lecture. Dan Class from the Hinsdale House and Ghost Finders. Richard Estep, Casey. Who am I missing? Chris and Kelly. There's something for everybody on that lineup.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-day event now. Three speakers Friday night, and then the rest on Saturday. And just going to be, I know it's going to be a fun event. But right now I'm just concentrating on everything that could go wrong.
Yeah.
That's how my brain works leading up to an event.
That's what you do best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and Lauren's still here. She's dealing with, pre-event Tim. And I warned her. He's not a friendly guy. So we'll get through it though. And
and then last year you had your foot in a boot.
Right.
That was a pain, and like literally a pain, but nobody was like paying attention to that. I was getting so annoyed because everybody kept going, Tim, could you come here? And I'm like, you come to Tim. Like, we've been telling you for hours to put your foot up. So, I mean, we're already ahead of the game.
I had surgery and then lost my job last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had the stitches taken out. And in the process of walking around all day Saturday, my foot had split open like a fillet.
Oh, geez.
So when I got up to my room, it looked like a crime scene.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I just remember looking at my foot and going, okay, let's rewrap this and we'll worry about it in the morning. Because I still had to take people to the airport the next morning. So when I got home, then it was all hands on deck. Get this thing healthy. Didn't have health insurance at the time. I do got to give credit where credit is due. Michelle Nason she works in elderly care. And she's got a little bit of experience there, and she came over weekly and
that's awesome.
kept me off my foot and wrapped the foot.
Nice.
And really was really was the reason that we were able to save the foot, if I'm being honest, because she kept the infection away, and forever grateful for that. But yeah, then we got healthy. I got a new job. Still got that job. They haven't fired me yet.
Yeah,
So,
good.
Yeah, so going into the event and about as close to full health as I can, which is exciting. I can enjoy this event this year and not have to worry about things going on. But yeah, last year, like anything that could go wrong did. I mean, we're talking the foot, my job, the blizzard.
Yeah,
it wasn't kind to us. And we went into that event. I remember saying something before we announced how much money we raised. On the way to Michigan, I didn't know how we were going to pay for the hotel rooms because we were that far out.
Yeah.
And we ended up raising $11,000.
Yeah.
So the people that did show up, they spent a lot of money. So if you're listening to this and you're going to the event, we need you to repeat that, please.
Right.
So spend.
Yeah.
While you're at it, just go to autographsforpooches.com, hit that donate button, and empty your bank account, please.
Or if you can't make it, it's a great way to donate.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I
always make sure. Can't be there, donate.
Yeah,
right.
I'm being facetious, but in all seriousness, if you can't make the event, we would sure appreciate a donation. It all goes to Humane Society of Huron Valley, and of course, we got to take money out for all of the expenses because an event this large, as you can imagine, there's probably some expenses, and there are.
Oh yeah.
So as soon as we get those all taken care of, though, everything goes to the Humane Society, and we regroup afterwards and figure out what we're doing next.
Yeah. And I can say the
At
Humane
least there
Society
is
team.
talk about the next thing.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I've already got things on the schedule. There's Palmer House and Hinsdale House. I'm not talking about anything other than that. So don't get too excited.
I'm just saying, though, at least it's not this is goodbye. I'm not doing these anymore.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, now's where we should make Lauren talk because I'm thirsty and I don't have anything to drink anymore.
So you're going to leave her?
No.
She's like, I'm not talking. Here's some water.
He did that before.
Did he?
I set up the computer because we pre-taped a podcast before this one. And I set up the computer and
he walked away.
I was in the studio and I went to go get something to drink. So I just was like, tell Jody hi. And she freaked out and like basically threw the computer.
I did not. I turned it and I muted it. I was like, you are not allowed to do that.
She turned it and muted it. And you're like, she basically threw the thing across the room.
Yeah. That's man logic right there. She can use girl math on me. I can use man logic.
Girl math is real though.
It is.
It is not.
It is.
It is. Oh God, it is not.
That should be a whole podcast topic, right?
Yeah. It would be funny though.
That could be the whiteboard thing. Pros and cons of girl math.
Yeah.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
There's girl math and wrong math.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't do math, but I can do girl math.
Feel the same
It's so
way about
cute when
Mom
she
and
makes
Cord.
herself laugh.
When she makes herself laugh. So Lauren, are you helping behind the scenes 100%? Or are you trying to stay away from
I'm
event
helping.
planning, Tim? Yeah.
I'm helping.
Tim, are you letting her help?
Well, if I didn't help, what would happen, honey?
Okay, so I don't know if people understand how controlling I am when it comes to photographs. There have been many people along the way that have offered to help.
Mhm.
There have been people that have helped raise money, and I'm thankful for all of that. But at the end of the day, Potographs and Murray was me. I mean, he's mine. Like I take pride in I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to let people help.
Yeah.
And she doesn't allow that. So she helps.
That's why my follow-up question was, do you let her help you, Tim?
Okay.
Because I know how you are.
Okay, so let's talk about there is a mental health component. And what
Yes.
happens when we're stressed out?
What happens?
Yeah,
Tim?
you want to answer the question?
Well, I don't think we even need to go into detail. I think we
Right.
could just say you need to ask for help.
Yeah.
You
Right.
need to let people help. So I help.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the boss says. So
It is the hardest thing to learn about dealing with mental health awareness is
Right.
just
Mhm.
getting over that hump of asking for help.
Right.
and honestly, that's the reason for the change in the name of the social media
Mhm.
is because she has been so instrumental behind the scenes
Mhm.
Yeah.
that she needs to be seen as the other half of this. She needs to be
Right.
seen as an equal. So that was important to me.
Yeah.
That Lauren got the credit that she deserved.
I didn't push for that. Let that be known.
That was me saying you need, and I used this phrase the other day. This is me saying Lauren needs her flowers, and she's like, no, because I'm going to be there all weekend. I don't need to take them home because I'd gotten her flowers for Valentine's Day.
Oh gosh.
She thought I meant literal flowers.
Right.
But she needed that recognition. She needed people to
Yeah.
understand that she is just as important to Potographs now as I am.
Mhm.
I mean, ultimately, this all works because of Murray.
Right.
I've said time in and time again that it's his story, and I just get to tell it.
Mhm.
But I read that comment. Sorry. But yeah, she deserves the credit, and
Yeah.
there's other things that she has done too that we're not going to get into right tonight, but at some point we might. I'll just like this doesn't continue without her.
Right.
It just doesn't. And
I'm curious. I'm kind of curious of what Lauren felt when she first heard the Murray story.
well, you didn't hear it in full until Dundee.
Yeah, that was actually the first
You know what?
time I heard it.
Honestly, you've told it. I've heard it twice, 3 times, maybe 4 times before. I think that was the first time in depth that I've heard it
Mhm.
like that deep into your life. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like I knew what Murray meant to you, and like I knew, but it was you presented it in a much more deep place, and I was crying again. Couldn't help it.
We had actually went back to the hotel room and had a conversation because that was the first time I had heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've been there
Mm-hmm.
kind of
in a similar way. So
Yeah.
I think
And I think
that's why this works so well is that we understand each other's brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've both dealt with it, and we can recognize the signs of, we've said it before, where like, oh shit, Tim is spiraling, and Lauren drops everything that she's doing to make sure that I'm okay, or Lauren is spiraling, and anything going on in my life at that point doesn't matter because I'm going to take care of Lauren.
Yeah.
We get each other on that level.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have somebody like that in your life and they're just looking at you going, be happy, stop being sad,
Right.
it's not helpful.
Yeah.
So having that connection and knowing what to say and how to say it, and trying to bring them back from a place where your brain is telling you that you're worthless, and your brain won't let you accept all the nice things that people say about you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been the biggest thing for me is having that constant support. Never had that before.
Right.
From a partner like this. And I'm just, God, am I lucky. I really am. sorry, you're sitting right here, but she's beautiful. And then on top of that, she's this wonderful, wonderful person. And it's like total package, like, and it was just handed, she's like, here, Tim. And
I'm only laughing because of the look she just gave you.
Right.
she hates it when I give her compliments like that. But she's this wonderful person. Like as a person, she's a 10. And then, I tell her all the time, she's a 10 settling for a 6.
I hate that when you say that.
Just reading what Holly.
I know, right? Who's making a bad habit of doing that?
Best thing in the world is having a partner that loves every bit of who you are, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But they don't judge you; they just love you. That's couldn't have been said more perfect.
Leave it to Holly.
Yep. And then Ken said, "I've never met a man who made me happy cry more."
I do have that effect on people, I guess. It's kind of my thing.
Uncontrollable crying. Yes.
Yeah. But it was that was the first time she heard the whole story. Was in Dundee.
Okay.
And at the end of it, I also gave her credit for Potographs surviving, and that we're going to keep going. And then I basically told the whole room that I loved her. And yeah. I guess it worked out. That was a pretty ballsy move on my
Right.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like real secret, like just kind of a
Boom, boom,
secret
boom.
love, and then all of a sudden, bam! It's
But,
right
like,
there.
But did you plan for that to happen, or were you just like talking and like feeling the moment, and then all of a sudden you were like, "Oh shit"?
Well, actually, what happened was there's a point in the lecture when I do lectures with Todd where we
Right.
talk about Murray and what he means to us. And Todd always talks about how if Murray wouldn't have been there, because Todd met his wife through the paranormal field.
Mm-hmm.
And if Murray wouldn't have been there, Todd wouldn't have met me, would have never been in the paranormal field. So he credits Murray for his wife. And I remember starting out by saying, this is usually the part where Todd gets really sappy about his wife. And
Yeah.
I've never had anybody to give that credit to. And then I just went right into, this girl means the world to me. And I was worried that I was going to walk up to her afterwards and she was going to be like, no.
What? Yeah.
What did you just do?
What did you do?
But she wasn't. And as you can tell, she doesn't really like attention. She doesn't like to talk a whole lot, which is good. She ended up with somebody that can't shut up.
It's the yin and yang.
But
Much as I try to tell him to.
so I was terrified that I had embarrassed her.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and it all worked out. And I think I'm winning at life.
Yeah.
Nice.
You are, dude.
But please ask her a question so I can not talk anymore.
I do think it's important though. Like
Yeah.
my husband and I are the same way. First of all, he doesn't even believe in ghosts, so there's that whole opposites. But like, it's good because I talk too much. He doesn't talk enough. I am very emotional. He is not very emotional. He's very rational. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's important to have that like opposites so that it just works. I don't know. You just balance each other out.
I'm not talking. It's her turn.
Okay.
You're so stubborn too.
Let me go to Tim's list.
No, I think it's good. I'm excited. And I love that Murray found a way to keep it going. Because he's like, oh, you're going to quit? No.
Mhm.
Look at this girl. Look at her.
Right.
She won't let you quit. He's still.
I-
great.
You really had a list.
I don't know what Ray's talking about.
No. No. But I think one of the big takeaways, like, yes, it's about helping the animals, but it's people who haven't seen it before just coming for the paranormal. They don't understand that this is also about mental awareness,
Right.
mental health
Mhm.
awareness. And, I don't know. It's awesome. I like thanked him like crazy after his speech at Dundee. I was like, dude, you just made me feel so much better. like, it's because men's mental health is kind of goes unspoken a lot,
Mhm.
and watching him be a kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh God, you really set me up for a lot of
Yeah,
things.
what's the word I'm looking for? Shit.
Tim's
Advocate.
really
He's an
what's the word I'm
advocate.
looking for? Oh,
He's a real advocate for mental health awareness,
There were
especially
so many other words I thought you were going to
Right?
go with.
yeah.
I had my
He's
own
an
list.
asshole who
Yeah, sure. I'm leaving that question up there a long time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That was me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
I was waiting for Goose to stop talking before I
Yeah.
was
Yeah, go
going
ahead.
to point out the
Just
question.
I'm done talking. I just wanted to thank Tim. That's all.
You want me to answer?
Lauren,
the
what was it
question?
about Tim
Yeah.
that made you fall in love with him?
All the things, guys.
Oh, wow.
All the things.
Oh my gosh, you're so romantic.
Okay, well, for Valentine's Day, I gave him a book with the 30 things that I loved about him.
Oh,
She forgot.
You don't have to tell us
28.
those things.
She
I
forgot.
won't tell you all of them.
Yeah, she forgot
But all
number
the
28.
things
though.
because he's actually been, so I'm going through divorce and I'm also going through the co-parenting things. And if you can find someone that will handle all that shit along with mental health shit, that's a lot of shit, right?
Right.
yeah.
And you find someone that's still going to be supportive and love you through all that
Mhm.
shit, that's a pretty good person.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not talking.
I've
I'm
been
not
there.
looking at her.
I'm
I'm not looking at her.
Look at me.
She thanks me for like the simplest of things that just seem like they should be normal.
Well, because he shows up randomly with like a gallon of milk.
Right.
And I'm not really used to that.
I mean, she lives right down the
Right.
street. It's not that hard.
It doesn't matter.
No, he doesn't. He lives 40 minutes away, guys.
Well, in men math, that is just
Yeah, just right down the street. Wanted to go for a drive. No, I guess the point of it all is it doesn't feel like effort.
Yeah.
Right.
It just feels right.
Yeah.
I mean, she's stuck by me through my pickled egg phase. She's stuck by me through my cabbage phase.
Oh my God.
What I'm trying to say is it didn't take me long to start farting in front of her, and she's still here. Todd and I used to talk because, like we said earlier in the show, like I was very stubborn about not wanting a relationship, not wanting to date, and I had a list, like a long list of things that I needed in a partner, and it was an impossible list.
Right. I was going to say it was a list to make sure that nobody ever checked all the boxes.
Yes. And she checked them all, except for the 3 kids. But I made an exception.
Tim hates kids.
Yeah. But we're still at the point where I don't love having kids around. Like I love her kids.
Right.
I mean, I would jump in front of a car to save them.
I hate kids too, and I have 2 of them. It's a difference. You love your own kids, but you screw other kids.
Yeah.
You might want to rephrase that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like other kids. Love my kids. I can't stand other kids.
But anyway,
other people.
like if a kid randomly falls, like I will laugh my ass off.
It's funny.
Yeah, I
that
send
when
her
my kids
videos
fall.
all the time of kids falling, and she doesn't find it funny. I'll answer Holly's question, but has she farted in front of you yet?
Yeah, I was going to put that
Constantly. Now
that
she
is a good relationship.
She is a walking airbag. That's
oh my God.
You could have just answered with yes.
I'm kidding.
Tim doesn't know how to do one-word answers.
Yeah. We were looking at photos from like last year of ourselves.
Yeah.
And just comparing in the smiles now.
What the heck does that mean?
Yeah. And the happiness in our eyes. Like it's night and day for both of us. And it's wonderful. Poop in a litter box face. You guys got time for a 30-second story? I'll make it quick. Thanks, John
Yeah,
Cassidy.
absolutely.
So I used to do a radio show, and it was a 2-hour radio show, and it was done in the office, and we would take a break, and nobody could see you because there wasn't video at that point. So I had some stomach issues that evening, and I remember getting through the first hour of the show just fine. Like before the show, I had gone.
We are all so concerned. Look at all of our faces.
Like before the show, I had a lot of stomach issues, and I thought I had them taken care of. So the first hour of the show went fine. We take our break. I'm still okay, so I don't go to the bathroom. We get 20 minutes into the second half of the show, and my stomach is rumbling. And I made the conscious decision to mute my phone and hover over the litter box.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And I remember because the cat, Bip, at the time, the cat was in the office with me. He had gotten closed in the office with me. And I remember the look because I made eye contact with him when I was shitting in his litter box.
My God.
And
Please tell me it was a long stare like the whole time.
It was a very judgmental stare. And I just kept apologizing. So I covered it like a good kitty. And I let it in there overnight because at the time I was still married and I didn't want the judgy look. And I emptied it the next morning and everything was fine. Nobody had to know. And then I went to work the next day and I told one person, and that one person was Todd.
And Todd said everybody needs to know.
Yes. Todd is a great friend, but he's also like an enemy. So anyway, that's the story. My mom never even heard that one. This is probably the first show that Lauren's parents are ever going to listen to. And up until now, I think they like me, but maybe not anymore.
If my dad's probably laughing his ass off.
Right. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Good idea.
It was, but I'm so proud of myself because I hovered and I hit it dead center.
I mean,
like
that's
I've been doing it my whole life.
Yeah.
So
that's a talent.
Give guys some credit.
Did you wipe?
No, yes, I did. I sacrificed a Milwaukee Brewers towel that night. Yeah. So let's talk about autographs.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Gosh.
We're gonna
never been more thankful for a transition.
What cake?
That.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I was nervous as hell going into that, but thank you.
Were you really?
So yeah, autographs, like, huh?
Yeah.
You were nervous?
Autographs.
I'm always nervous when I have to go talk, like in front of people.
You
like that,
talk
we're like
people all the time.
It's different. I have the computer like blocking. It doesn't feel as real as standing in front of like 40 people.
Yeah, autographs.
Yeah, autographs.
Somebody cut
Anyways,
my mom off. No more comments from my mom, please.
Long road trip, so you could just bring a litter box.
You shut your face. Hush.
Oh, that's amazing.
So let's get into the dirty details of autographs. Like, what are we looking at? What are we expecting? What's going down?
I didn't hear the first part of that question.
Oh, what's happening? What are the details of autographs? What's going down that day?
All right. I don't have the list of people in front of me, but I can tell you this: that Friday night.
No, we already did that, didn't we?
Yeah, we have 3 speakers Friday night. And it's all the main event of that night is the 3-lady mediumship gallery of Christy, Deb, and Dana.
Oh, I did want to ask about that. Are they going like all 3 at the same time? Will be in front of everybody?
Yep.
Nice.
And then Saturday, it's an all-day paranormal event. We're starting speakers at 10 in the morning. Doors open at 9. Speakers start at 10. We get done at 8 p.m. And then we all breathe a big sigh of relief. But it's it's a paranormal conference at heart, but it's all for one cause.
Right.
It's not like any other paranormal conference. So if you've been to a paranormal conference and you're thinking that's not for me, this paranormal conference is different because everybody has the same goal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times during the day on the Saturday people will come up and say, "How are we doing?
Right.
Yeah.
What can I do to raise more money? How are we looking? Are we going to break a record?" This year, I'll be completely honest with you, we're a little light on ticket sales.
Mhm.
So if we could get some people to make a decision and choose to join us that day, that'd be fantastic. I just want to fill the building up. I
Mhm.
want to raise as much money as we can for Humane Society of Huron Valley and make it a special weekend for Murray.
Mhm.
It's kind of a coming out party, I guess, for this group.
Yeah.
It'll be our first public appearance. I'm still speaking with Todd that weekend.
Okay.
Going forward, I'm not sure if we're going to keep doing the Parafest thing. We may do smaller things, so might be the last time you see Todd and I on stage together.
No.
So that'll be bittersweet, but
Yeah.
we'll make it special. But it's going to be a great weekend. And yeah, you can buy at the door. Tickets at the door are $300, Holly. If you get them in advance, they're $85. I'm kidding. There is no increase at the door, but yeah, tickets will be available at the door. Just a special weekend. A lot of Murray themed things going on that weekend. I'll let Lauren talk about her necklaces that she did.
Oh yeah.
She's only got a few left, so push the necklaces, sell the last few.
I have 1 silver and 5 gold left.
But what are they?
Okay.
Well,
What are they and where?
Yeah, but
What are they and
people
where
that are
can you get
listening
them?
to the show probably
Well,
didn't see
okay.
that.
They are like a single paw, 18 karat dipped necklace pendant. I don't have a picture though.
Yeah.
But at buttonbugs.com, you could see them. They are $18 plus $5 shipping, but all of the profits will go to potographsforpooches.com to help with Parafest 5
Nice.
to raise money for Huron Valley.
Nice.
And if we do sell out, then I'll restock all of them.
Very cool.
Yeah. So we're being stubborn and we're holding out until they buy the last 5.
Yeah.
Yes. Before you buy
Yeah.
more.
6?
Well, because it's 1 silver, 5 gold.
I can't do math either, apparently. But no, I wanted Lauren to talk about that because that's just one of the things that she's doing to help. You know, she wanted to do that. That was her thing.
Mhm.
Raising money and trying to alleviate some of the stress. So yeah, go support that. It's buttonbugs.com.
Mhm.
There's some other great things on there too.
I took them all off.
You took them all off?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. It's just Potograph stuff.
Oh, never mind then.
Here we go. Here's a picture.
Oh, well, that one sold out, but thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
You get the idea.
We could restock it
If
if
everything else sells out.
yeah.
That was great.
Awesome.
That was a popular one,
Yeah.
so that's why that one sold out.
And as I've been telling everybody, we'll be there. The Cryptic Paranormal Show will be there.
Yeah.
Doing our thing. Can't wait.
Holly, can I stay
Yeah.
with you? Is there rooms at the hotel left?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I should probably look into that.
Yeah. I know the block that was set aside for us is full. And hopefully they don't. What was it last year? Like a volleyball tournament or a wrestling? Those are 2 very
Oh,
good.
gosh,
yeah, it
was.
was. Yeah,
And
there
a
was
birthday
some, yeah,
party.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, there's
Right
a pool in the
outside my
lobby.
door. It was awesome.
We're not in the atrium this year. For
Yeah.
vendors. We split
Okay.
the speaker room in half, so half of that is the vendors.
Nice.
Just to avoid random people walking past us in just
Yeah.
their swim trunks and dripping.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I mean, the
that was-
atrium was cool, but
yeah. The atrium
makes
got a
more
little
sense.
rough at night though, and somebody ordered 30 burritos, and 28 of them got spilled on the floor.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Can't believe people. I forgot about
my
all the tacos. That was crazy.
But yeah, guys, it definitely come out like Tim was saying. This is definitely a different feel for a convention. I remember like after the first one we went to, we were just like instant family, all of us. Just we were so excited to come back and excited to come back again this year. And it's a good time. A lot of great vendors, a lot of great people, very talented speakers. I can't. It's one of my favorite of the year for sure. It is the favorite convention of the year. I look forward to it now.
I bet you say that to all the conventions.
No, I really don't. I really don't. I mean,
No,
yeah,
it
they
was
all have
fun.
their own meanings, but yeah, it's
and you're not even being like, it's not even a metaphor. We literally remember we were like, Uncle Carl.
yeah.
Our first one.
First time I met him, hey, Uncle Carl. He's like,
Uncle
hey, what's up?
Carl.
We can we go over? Is that possible, or are we just
do
hard
whatever
cut
we
off?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I can do whatever I
Because
want.
I got an Uncle Carl story.
Oh, good.
So we investigated the Hinsdale house like the year before on my birthday weekend, and James, Anito, and Carl Johnson came to investigate with us. Of the famous Keith and Carl Johnson twins that investigated the Conjuring house the first time. So getting to investigate with Carl was amazing.
Yeah.
There are some quirks that come with Carl. When he leaves the room, when he leaves the house, he does not close the door. Like, he left the front door of the Hinsdale house open every time we left the house that weekend.
Nice.
But it was just amazing to be around him. So we created this really great friendship that weekend. So going into the next year for Plotographs, I needed him there for the event. And then it got to the after event party, and we had a bunch of Fireball. Todd had gotten a bucket of 20. And just Todd, I think the two of you had maybe one or two.
I did not have one.
I didn't have any. I think I might have had
but
one.
it was just Tim, Todd, and Carl.
Guys.
Yeah.
So Carl had like 5 of these.
He
and
kept
Carl's
pulling
feeling
them out
pretty
of his pocket.
Yeah, and
it's like a magic trick. They just kept coming out of his pocket.
And that's when we started calling him Uncle Carl.
Yeah.
But it's just like, once you're part of the Plotographs family, you're really a family.
Yeah.
Unless you do something to piss off Murray, and then you're no longer family. I don't give second chances. So, no, the people that have been at those events and the people that have given their time to those events will always hold a special place for me, because of what we've been able to do for Plotographs, for the shelters that we've helped, and then also to make sure that I'm pretty sure Murray's legacy is set at this point.
Yeah.
But I do want to keep it going and make sure nobody forgets what that little guy did for not only me, but for other 2-legged people and 4-legged animals.
Yeah. He's affected a lot of people's lives in a very positive, loving way. I love it.
And I think that's like my favorite part. I know we talked about it like the first time that we had you on the show. Like, I love all of the examples of how everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people who have been affected by you just opening up about mental health issues. There's so many people who are like, okay, I'm not alone. And that, obviously I'm a huge advocate for that. And there's so many animals who have been helped as well. Like, it's just, I don't know. That's my favorite part, is everything happens for a reason. And to see the things that came out of it are just so amazing to me. And I'm so glad that you're still doing it.
Yes.
My favorite part of this entire thing is I look up at the screen with Lauren and I see those beautiful brown eyes staring between us.
Right? Yeah.
He's always there. He's always watching. There's too many coincidences,
right,
as to how Lauren and I happen for it to be an accident.
Right.
And so yeah, I think it's pretty apropos to have him staring back at the screen and
right.
And it's I'll fight anybody that says he's not the most beautiful dog that's ever lived.
Yep. It's
He's
awesome.
cute.
All
I
right.
I like that nobody signed on his face too. Like,
Yeah, right.
one day
Yeah.
you're gonna run out of room and somebody's gonna have to sign on his face, and they're gonna be like, "No, I'll just sign the back. It's fine."
Yeah, this banner is not going to go traveling anymore.
Oh, good.
Okay.
This one hangs at the house now, and
Yeah,
that's where
it's out of space.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Goose,
right.
you want
Well,
to put up the thing one more time?
yeah, let me put up the poster one more time so you guys could see exactly what's going down and who you could see at this. We'll go. Hold on a second. There we go. It's coming up, guys. March
Yeah,
8th and 9th.
We've got a stretch during Saturday where we've got I don't remember the exact order, but it's like Heather, Barry, John Tenney, Dustin Perry, like 4 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put that up against any event in the country.
Right.
As far as quality of lineup. So you're getting to see the bigger names in the paranormal. You're getting that part of it satisfied, and then you also get to help a great cause, if I might say so myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we try to bring the people in that they want to see. I mean, last year we had John Zaffis, and he made it the morning of the event because of a blizzard, and everybody loved seeing him. Dustin Perry got rerouted Friday night to Milwaukee, rented a car, and drove 7 hours in a blizzard to Ann Arbor so he could be at the event.
Yeah.
You don't find that kind of friendship.
No.
So, it's important to people. And I mean, obviously it's important to me. It's important to Lauren now. And just excited to see where everything takes us.
Right.
Yep. Awesome. I'm excited. I was looking forward to this interview with you guys. And I'm super excited for Pottergrass Fair Fest number 5. Ann Arbor, Michigan, 8th and 9th of March. All proceeds are going to the Humane Society of Huron Valley. You guys can buy your tickets right now. They better sell out in the next 10 minutes. I'm unfriending all of you. No, I'm just kidding. Autographsforpooches.com, and you can donate or you can buy your tickets right there. Real simple. So make sure you're doing that.
Are you doing it, Tim, where if people donate on the website, it goes towards the totals? Like if they want it to go towards the totals for the event? Yeah.
Everything that gets donated between now and the event, I mean, that's the way we do everything. If there's a donation, it goes to the next event that we have planned. So everything donated goes to Pottergrass Parafest 5 and will be included in the total.
Right.
Awesome. Cool deal. Thank you guys so much for being on. It was great to talk to you again, Tim. Lauren, awesome to get to know you. I got to know you a little bit at Dundee. Tim, we
I'm
converted
excited
her
to meet you, Lauren. Like in real life, not just on the screen.
We did convert her into a hugger by the end of that.
You did.
She wasn't much of a hugger when we first met her, but she was hugging everybody by the time we left. So can't wait to see you both and hug you. Hug everybody there. And cool. Pottergrass Parafest 5, guys.
Awesome.
Let's do it for Murray's legacy. So
thanks for having us, guys.
Hey, Tim Rehan, we'll see you there, buddy. All right. Everybody have a good night.
Oh, and don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. You haven't heard it in a while. Please don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole and donate or get your asses to Pottergraphs. All right. We love you guys. Have a good night. We'll spook you later.
Bye.
Night.